Jethro. Jethro is my new VA, and he is absolutely phenomenal. And so Jethro, wave at everybody when you can. He's got a few moving parts over there. There he is, Jethro. Y'all say hey to Jethro. He'll be on each week with us. We're going to dive right in here today, team. And here's what we're talking about today, which I think is vitally important, regardless of the industry that you're in. And my real estate people, it is unbelievably vitally important to you as our industry continues to change, especially as all these changes come to us as we get into August. So here's the word I want you to write down. Would you write down the word value? Would you write down the word value? Somebody come off mute and tell me, what does value mean to you? When you hear that word, what's value? Somebody tell me, what is it?
Your worth.
Your worth. I love that, Wendy. Your worth. Anybody else? What's value to you? I'm going to give you a few definitions, all right? Here's a few. Here's the first one. The regard that something is held to deserve. Write that down. The regard that something is held to deserve. The importance, the word Wendy just gave us, worth or usefulness of something. The importance, the use or worth or usefulness of something. Here's another one. A person's principles or standards of behavior. And that's the one I want to stand on for a minute. Okay? A person's principles or standards of behavior. I got to sit yesterday and listen for quite a while to someone talk about what they called verbal integrity. Everybody write those words down. This got me yesterday. Verbal integrity. Somebody tell me, what do you think that means? There's no wrong answer here, team. What do you think it means when we talk about verbal integrity? Anybody? You guys awake this Monday morning? Huh? Can we shake y'all up a little bit? Verbal integrity. What do you think that means?
The words.
Say what you mean and mean what you say.
Say what you mean and mean what you say. I love that. Say what you mean and mean what you say. What else? Say what you mean and mean what you say. Wendy, what do you think?
I would think as verbal, when you speak to somebody, each time it's your standards that you live by and your principles.
That's right. When you speak to somebody, your
Basically.
standards that you live by and your principles. That's exactly right. Your standards that you live by and your principles. I love it. I love it. Let me give you a few thoughts here. Just the word integrity alone, here's what it means. Integrity alone means the quality of character that, everybody write this down, that runs all the way through you. Okay? The quality of character that runs all the way through you. Here's very simply what verbal integrity means. And if you're asking the question, wait a second, you just went from value to verbal integrity. Here's why. Because your value comes down to your verbal integrity. Okay, you with me? The moment that you don't do what you say you're going to do, you lose verbal integrity. Yes or no? Okay? And when we are communicating with people, okay, what we have is our language. It's our verbal integrity, okay? But the integrity of my words comes with the actions that follow verbal integrity. You with me? Ryan Holmes just wrote, verbal integrity means you trust what leaves your mouth or your body language to the people around you. And I would take that even a step further too, Ryan, and it be that they trust what comes out of your mouth and your body language. You guys tracking with me on this? Okay. Verbal integrity, that you do what you say you're going to do. So I want to talk to you a little bit about words and how words bring value, how words can also devalue. Okay. Anybody ever used language before that was devaluing? Yeah, you're welcome for stepping on your toes this morning. How many of you have ever been spoken to with language that was devaluing? Come on. So I want you to write this down. When we talk about verbal integrity and this being part of value, I want you to write this down. That words are powerful. Write that down. Words are powerful. Sherry Hendrick, you nailed it. Some of the worst devaluing language is often to myself. How many of you, that's you? Hey, how many of you have great verbal integrity when it comes to the people you work with, when it comes maybe to the people in your family, to your friends, but you don't have a lot of verbal integrity when it comes to you? Anybody? I've had that for 46 years. I'm a most difficult critic, yes or no? Okay. Okay. Words are powerful. All right. Words are powerful. Words can, I want you to write this down. Words can be destructive. Words can be destructive. Language that we use to other people, to Sherry's point, language that we use to ourselves. Okay. I want you to put this down for sure. Words don't just stay in your ears. Anybody? What do you think I mean by that? That words don't just stay in your ears.
It gets stuck in your head and it plays over and over again.
Yeah, there you go. It gets stuck in your head and it plays over and over again. Let me ask you a question. Has anybody ever said words to you that you still think about today? Has anybody ever said words to you that you allowed to mark you, or you adopted them? Okay. Ryan Holmes said they stick mentally, physically, and emotionally. Okay. So I want you to write down that words spread throughout your entire body. Tracking with me on this? Okay. So the importance of our words are what bring value to us or what bring value to other people. Could be that it devalues us or devalues other people. Okay. Now, another thing I want you to write down is that words can also be a disguise. Have you ever disguised yourself with your words? Anybody? You ever said this is who I am, but that's kind of like the glaze on the donut? You know what I mean? You tracking with me on this? I mean, it looked pretty on the outside, right? But you get past that glaze and we start to figure out that what we said may not be who we are. Can I tell you how you win with people? Make sure that what you say is who you are, that it's not a glaze. You tracking with me on this? Okay. Like, and I'm telling you this from experience, team. Okay. Like, I've had seasons of my life when I've kind of had a glaze. Okay. My feet and my mouth didn't line up. Tracking with me? Okay. We end up double-minded. It ends up being a disguise. I want to ask you an important question today. What are you disguising with your words? What are you disguising with your words? True value means you have validity with your words. True value means that it's not just the glaze on the donut. All right? That there's substance underneath what we just say. Okay? Write this down. We are either honest or we're disguised. There's no in between. Natalie, I love that. Social media makes it easy to glaze, doesn't it? Right? Makes it easier to glaze. We often operate sometimes in surface level truth. Here's why. Because honesty is costly. Honesty is costly. But it's cheaper than hiding. Everybody write that down. Have you ever made a mistake in business? Anybody? You ever made a mistake? Just me? Ever make a mistake in your life? Anybody? Yeah. Yeah. Can I tell you how you win? Honesty. Honesty is the fertile soil where I grow. It's putting your hand up and going, hey, I'm going to take full responsibility for what I just said or did. Okay, you with me? Value comes. Can I tell you how much value comes with honesty? Like when we just put our hand up and go, hey, that's on me. I don't have an excuse. It's not somebody else's fault, right? I'm just going to lay this out honestly. Did you know that some of my top clients in my sphere today are people that I totally blew it with? Yeah. Did you know I have a beautiful bride who lives in my house that I blow it with all the time? I got these incredible kids. I blow it with them. Hey, side note, real quick. All the dads out there, can we just give them a big hand? Come on. Come on. Come on. Getting up every single day. Super thankful for each and every single one of you, whether you biologically have children, whether you have stepped into that space. That's the story for me, right? My kids don't have any of my DNA in them, but they have my DNA all over them. All right. They walk like me. They talk like me. They're funny like me. All right. And that didn't come from their biological daddy. That brother's not funny. Okay. I like him. We're friends. He's just not funny. Okay. Okay. But that value comes from what? How do I bring value to my kids? Here's how I bring value to my kids. That I do what I say I'm going to do. And I've done it from day one. You with me? Like I tell my kids all the time, if your dad says it, you can take it to the bank. Okay. My daughter, she doesn't do this now. She's 11, so she's super cool now. But she used to always make me pinky promise everything. Y'all ever done this before? You ever had to do the pinky promise? Okay. So my daughter would say, hey, Dad, can we go do A, B, or C? And I would go, absolutely, girl, we'll go tomorrow. And then she would say, will you pinky promise? Okay. And it was almost like she was saying, I believe you, but I need to really believe you. You guys tracking with me on this? Here's my point. When you are a person of value and when you are a person who has verbal integrity, you don't have to pinky promise. The first promise is enough. You with me? First promise is enough. I want to give you 3 things that verbal integrity is marked by. Okay. 3 things that verbal integrity is marked by. Here's what they are. Number 1, it's marked by this. Your words in the present bind you to your actions in the future. Your words in the present bind you to your action in the future. Okay. Rhett, you made a great point over here. Rhett said he tells all of his people that hire him that I will tell you the truth even if you don't want to hear it. Okay. It's a great thing to say to your clients as long as you follow through and do it. That's what this means. Words in the present are going to tie me to my action in the future. Okay. Second thing that marks verbal integrity is that you don't say one thing and then think another. I'm going to say that again. I didn't say and do another. We do that all the time. I said you don't say one thing and then think another. Does that make sense? That's verbal integrity. Some of you are lacking verbal integrity because you will say something and then you will think about your limiting beliefs that will hold you back from what you just said. It's a lack of verbal integrity with ourselves. You tracking with me on this? We say it, we just don't think it. You with me? Somebody brought up Facebook earlier, that it's real easy to glaze over in Facebook. Did you know that's because we say it, but we don't think it? Or we say it and we don't do it? Or we say it and we don't be it. Here's what verbal integrity is. That you are who you say you are. You choose to be that. You guys tracking with me here? Okay. One more thing that verbal integrity is. Okay? It's that you say the same thing here and you say the same thing there. Yeah, you're welcome. That means I don't go in and change what I say based on the environment around me. Okay? That I don't go in and say what I think over here, and then over here I want to people please everybody. I got a PhD in this one. Anybody? Anybody like to say what everybody wants to hear? Like, and I'm just being honest with you, okay? I'm a people pleasing dude. Okay? But if I say what you want to hear, I don't have verbal integrity. Okay? Like, this is a challenge I have on a daily basis. That I got to say what I believe and stand on it and be okay if somebody else doesn't think that way. Okay? And Angela Carter, you're spot on. Consistency earns trust. Couple more thoughts I want to give you before you leave. Number one, are you wherever you are? Are you fully 100% you wherever you are? That's verbal integrity. That I am who I say I am, regardless of the room I walk into, regardless of what you think. Okay? That I will have verbal integrity. Here's the next one. Do you know yourself in the mirror of your own promises? Do you know yourself in the mirror of your own promises? Here's how I think we bring value to people. I think we bring value to people by showing our integrity, by being who we say we are and doing what we say we will do. Especially all my real estate agents out there, we got a lot of people flipping out. How do we show our value? How do we show our value? What's our value proposition? Here's your value proposition. You are your value proposition. Everybody's got the same information. Okay? You are your value proposition. My first year in real estate, I realized it didn't take much for me to stand out. I just had to do what I said I was going to do. And in the event that I didn't, I had to own it and take responsibility for it. And then make a behavior change. Can I tell you there's a key here? Okay. RUT ABC. I've taught it to you before. Recognize the wrong, understand the pain, take responsibility. Okay. Accept the consequences. And then the B and C is you better make a behavior change, because if you don't, you didn't mean what you said. Tracking with me? If you don't make a behavior change, you didn't mean what you said. When you mean what you say, you'll make a behavior change. Does this help you guys today? Yes? Okay. As you go through today, ask yourself, am I having verbal integrity? Because your verbal integrity will show your value. All right? All right, team. Hey, I love you. Bless you. I look forward to seeing you each and every single week on here. We will kick off every week now at 8 a.m. Central. We're going to dive right in for 30 minutes, get you dialed in for the week. Okay? Show up this week. Have verbal integrity. Make sure that you are consistent with your words, and make sure that you are consistent with your actions. And when you do that, people will trust you. Inside your four walls, outside your four walls. Tracking with me? Okay. I love you. Bless you. Let's go. Come on. Have a great week. 8 a.m. 8 a.m. every week. Take care.